Hi, I'm Peter Sklair. Welcome to Heartbeats.
You have recorded and performed with various South African artists like Manfred Mann, Hugh Masakela, Vusi Mahlasela. But what do you love about that music that honors that true African spirit?
There's something about Africa which gets into the blood.
Mm.
I think those of us who are born here sort of feel it and recognize it, or at least when you leave it, then you even notice it even more. And I think people coming from overseas also pick up on it quite a lot. It's like there's something very great about being in Africa. We love it. We love the energy and the sunshine and the different people. It just connects with us who've grown up in this environment, in the soil, and the rhythms sort of just seem to connect with us because it's like this is home.
Yeah.
You know, those rhythms resonate with us. So it's African music.
Could you share a story about when you toured with Katherine Jenkins in 2011? Anything that was inspiring or that you learned something, or something that was just fun?
Okay, so Katherine Jenkins is a very sort of unique artist who I worked with. You know, normally I'm used to the popular music, the rock, jazz. But here there was some tracks that she did which needed a rhythm section. So when she came to tour in South Africa, I was fortunate enough that they asked me to be part of the orchestra, which is a very unusual setting for me to be part of an orchestra. But it was very great to just see that environment. And also, she's really a perfectionist.
Oh wow, yeah.
You know, I don't know if you've seen pictures of her, but she's a very beautiful woman, and she presents herself like in a perfect way.
Yeah.
And when she sings, it's all perfect. And the day before, I think, our first rehearsal, she didn't even want to speak because it might stress her voice out. She actually rests her voice. And I know on the day of performance, she's incredibly picky about what she might eat. You know, it's like everything is very calculated to present her in the most perfect way as possible. And that was really fascinating to me, because for me, you just get together and play and start doing it. And you know, you don't sort of be too pedantic about how you do things. But this was an example of someone who really, you know, crosses the T's and dots the I's, so that the performance can really be at its absolute best. And everything is also sort of pre-planned. The music is pre-planned, the songs are pre-planned, the arrangements are pre-planned. There's very little left to chance. It's just a matter of executing something perfectly. So that was really an eye-opener from someone who comes from a jazz mindset where you get together and you actually haven't predicted. Or haven't planned what's going to happen. And it's more a very spontaneous thing in the jazz world. Where you see, okay, where is this music going? And
you gotta be intuitive with it. And
so this was completely the opposite of that.
Whereas
in the jazz, then ideally you should be in the moment when you're creating it and seeing how it feels, and got that spontaneous communication with people that you play with. So the classical world, or especially seeing Katherine Jenkins, is all about everything is planned. Your notes are preset, and
it's to precision.
But it's also beautiful music, and as valid, they're all valid mediums of expression.
Well, let's talk about the innovation in jazz then. How do you work together in a jazz group and let everybody have their feel, but also still, you know, lead everybody, so it's not, you know, very random and disorganized? You know, there's like a what is that, organized chaos kind of thing when it comes to jazz.
Sometimes it is very unpredictable. You know, like you can have one night where you're working with people and it comes out really great, and some the next night can be, not good at all. So how does one actually control that, and should you really try and control it?
Yeah, should you just let it be what it is? Yeah.
I mean, ideally, if you're working with people that you like as people, that also helps a lot, because just your natural communication with them is going to be good.
When you do jazz, especially in a jazz ensemble, you have to be able to play well with others, so there's no real room for ego. But how do you respect the individual's intentions and the group's intentions for where you all want to go and what you all want to get out of this?
Yeah, so it's very much, it's like a relationship. I think it's give and take. But what I do notice is that the more you try and control it, sometimes you have worse results. I think we all function well when we feel respected, and honoured, and if everybody can come to the experience with that respectful mindset, but also know that you've got the support of your friends in the band, then you'll feel comfortable to be yourself. And you really don't want to control a musician so much that they're not able to experiment and maybe even fail sometimes. They've got to, so you've got to give people enough space to run and maybe fall and try things, and maybe the first time is not working out, or the second time, but if people feel that you've got confidence in them, they'll actually maybe achieve something more than what you could have actually asked them to do initially. You might ask them to do something which is like this, but when they actually process it and feel comfortable, maybe they can bring something that you couldn't have even imagined. So I love to give people that space, but of course there are times where things are quite coordinated. And but again, if you've got faith in the people that you're working with, that they're doing the best they can. I think you got to be careful not to sabotage their confidence in themselves. Even if they are messing up sometimes, you got to say, it's all good.
Don't worry,
it'll
be better next time.
And maybe the next gig will be amazing. So you got to accept the failures as part of the process, actually. If you want it to be perfect from the very first point in time, I think that's quite unreasonable. And there's things grow to a place.
Well, I mean, I think there's a saying, I'm not sure, but that every master is somebody who's been able to accept that he's made mistakes. You can't be a master without having made mistakes. It just doesn't happen. You've made them and you've learned from them and you've grown, and then you make them again and you learn, and that's the only way you learn. Sometimes through error. So
actually I suppose one should actually love the mistakes, because they show you. Sometimes you hear something that you would never have played, and it can shift your thinking into a complete different direction. So they say the Beatles, when they were trying to play Black American music, and they weren't really playing it very accurately, but they came up with their own sound. So the fact that they weren't executing it correctly turned out to be a great thing.
People could relate to that. What do you feel that the South African jazz music scene needs to make it even better?
So I come from an environment where there really was no jazz education in this country, and I've seen things change quite a lot. I think it started in Natal under Darius Brubeck, but also at UCT, at Wits, and at TUT, which was the old Pretoria Technikon. There's great jazz education courses that's really, it's become very much accepted that if you want to learn jazz, how you do it is you go to a university to learn jazz. So it's actually completely the opposite from the experience from when I started. So I've seen there's really a lot of musicians who are very technically much better trained than the musicians were in the past, in terms of having ability to sight read, understanding harmony in a much more advanced way. And that is a great thing to see. And people have, much quicker in their advancement. But what does worry me is that it's a little bit of a sausage machine. So you get all the kids who who are learning the same type of process of creating music.
So then they all
sort of can play together, and they think in the same way and function. But I'm not sure if you're going to get that much great innovation, because everybody's coming out of the same factory.
Yeah, and they feel safe with what they've learned, So
yes.
you've got to literally put yourself out of them and think outside the box to find some new way of making music, which sometimes scares people.
Yeah, I'm thinking about some of the great musicians that I played with back in the day, people like Russell Herman and Robbie Jansen, who weren't formally trained. They picked up knowledge in a very sort of probably a random way to some extent, but they were fantastic musicians, and they came up with really powerful and unique voices. And I'm not sure if the current generation is able to get that much of a unique sound, because they've been trained all, pretty much by the same people in the same way. I'm not sure how one would shift that back to what it was. Where the process was definitely slower, the way music was learnt in the past. It was you'd learn from actually playing it, rather than going to a classroom and say it's supposed to be like this and that.
Did you guys learn by ear, like listening to a record, or because
very much so.
The internet wasn't as huge as it is. Obviously, nowadays you just look up a song and you can find the whole sheet music and everything. It's really easy nowadays. But I'm sure it used to be more, listen to it. What does it feel like? So it was more also engaging your own ears, which is very important in music. Instead of just reading.
Well, harmonically, we didn't necessarily even understand what was going on, but we figured out how somehow, more or less, how the songs work from listening to it. But with mistakes. But again, as we said, maybe the mistakes also were informative. In a way. But it was more a sort of natural process rather than sort of downloading a whole lot of information into your brain.
Yes, yeah.
Like in Matrix style.
Total. Yeah.
And which it is nearly like that. You say, I wonder how the song goes, and you're like, okay, let's see Google.
Yeah.
And then 2 minutes later you got the chords all worked out for you, and whereas before we used to just play with people and try and fit in, and maybe they'd show you a part, or maybe you memorize it, learn it by ear. A very different process, more organic. So how to shift it back, I don't know. But I think it's a very valid question that people need to address too. I think the curriculum at the universities need to sort of break open a little bit from where they are at the moment.
Allow people to think for themselves just a little bit more.
Yes, to put them more out the box and to shift them out of the conventional way of playing jazz. Like to thank you for this interview.
Thank you.
I think it's such a great thing that you're doing, and I think people express themselves, and I only wish you great things, and I hope this grows to being a worldwide phenomenon that everyone is checking your interviews out.
Oh, thanks, man. Give me a hug then. Cool.
And I wish you all out there only the best, many, many blessings. Enjoy the music, enjoy the journey, and peace and love.
So, hey guys, that's a wrap. Thank you, Peter, for sharing from your heart. I really enjoyed our chat. Love learning more about jazz. And thank you guys for watching and supporting Heartbeats. Check you next time for another Heartbeat story. Like, subscribe, and comment. Have a great one.